How's it going? This is Scott Truly, and I want to talk to you about something completely different today. I've been studying philosophy for the last year and a half. I studied it somewhat in college a little bit, but I've been studying with Dr. Greg Sadler of Reason.io for the last year and a half, maybe longer. And one of the things that I've been reading up on is Existentialism, Jean-Paul Sartre. So he's French, he's a playwright, some of you know him as that, but he's also a big proponent of existentialism. This is called Existentialism is a Humanism. It's a killer book. It's actually a transcription pretty much of a talk he gave in, I think, the mid-40s in Paris, France. Basically, what I try to do with all this stuff is I'm not trying to learn the history or technical stuff, for trivial reasons, for trivia reasons. What I'm trying to do is take some of these schools and learn how to apply it to my art, or how I view my art, or make me a better musician. Because I said so many times, it's not just, for me, it's not just picking up the guitar and running scales or practicing stuff. That sometimes the practicing takes place in your mind. So what is existentialism? Well, basically, it means existence precedes essence, right? So he's saying when you're born, it's going to be entirely up to you, and it's going to be your responsibility how you live your life and what's important. The reason he gave this talk was the word existentialism, and I think today it was so overused it lost its meaning. So let me talk a second about what he means by your essence comes after existence. He talks about a paper knife, making a paper knife. We cannot suppose that a man would produce a paper knife without knowing what purpose it would serve. Right? So he's saying already before you make it, you know what its essence is. Let us say, therefore, that the essence of a paper knife, that is, the sum of the formulae and properties that enable it to be produced and defined, precedes its existence. Okay? For a lot of people, they think God makes us in His image, or there's a lot of variations about people thinking that our essence or our nature is completely defined when we're born. What he's trying to say is it's entirely up to you how you define yourself. Now, there's limitations, so before you go ahead and say, well, great, I want to be a hedonist, I want to torch towns, I want to drink all the time, I want to, cheat on people, be a bad friend. One of the parameters he says in this book that you have to live your life by as an existentialist is it okay if everybody else does what I'm doing? Now that's a good one. That's kind of the moral compass. And he does talk about morality and stuff in here. I'm really just giving you the basics. So those are two cool things to think about. In music, a lot of times you play a certain way to be accepted, right? Learn these blues licks, use these guitars, use this tone, and if you play this way, that's kind of, how you should be. But your essence is going to be up to you. You're going to be fully responsible for it. And just that much made me start to think about, all right, so who am I as an artist? Where is that? And I became less afraid to look at it. As far as practicing all the time, the gigs I took, well, as far as the moral part of it, how you live your life outside of it, as long as you go by, if everybody around me did the same thing, would it be okay? But anyways, I would check this out. And I didn't dig deep into this at all. I just kind of gave you an overview of what existentialism is in this book. But I don't know. Check it out. And if anybody's read this, let me know. Thanks.